The restoration of buildings has always been a dream of Riwaq. Because when Riwaq started, we didn't know anything. Not just we didn't know how many buildings there were in Palestine or where were they, we also didn't know how to restore them. Because the building knowledge was lost.
And we are young architects. We never planned our future. We never planned our cities. And suddenly we could plan our historic centers. And with the historic centers comes something else, which is the memory.
It all started with my childhood. I grew up in Jordan because in 1948 we became refugees like 90% of the population then. My father was always talking about his house in Jaffa. And as a child, I had to sort of construct Palestine, build models for our house, build images of whatever my father told me as a kid. My father always talked about the 420 villages that the Israelis destroyed. And that number was magic for me. When I came to the first time in my life to Palestine, in '81 to teach at Birzeit University, I was intrigued that the number of villages were 420 villages that exist now in West Bank and Gaza. So I have a mission of protecting the remaining 50% of what has been destroyed. You see, the problem up till now, I think, in people's mind, a historic building reminds them of poverty, of darkness, of dampness, and this is what we want to change.
With the urban expansion happening now in towns and in villages too, we're losing public spaces, we're losing open spaces, we're losing spaces that are accessible to everyone to go to.
We need a public space because this is the place for community to meet and to negotiate and to make a dialogue and to intervene in their future.
أهلا وسهلا فيكم جميعا في رواق في افتتاح فعاليات بناء رواق الرابع.
In 2001, unemployment rates were very high in Palestine. And that's why funders were putting money in job creation projects. And for us, building restoration is a quintessential job creation project.
وكيف اندليت على الشغل مع رواق؟
في أبو محمد بكى المقاول الأول فكان صديق والدي. اشتغلت مع والدي يومين فعجبوا الشغل معه واشتغلت كملت معه. مهم بالفعل مهم إنه في أشياء قديمة تتجدد تراثنا بالضبط.
I think that's where Riwaq made its major contribution, is to connect cultural heritage with job creation.
We create not only a joyful place to play, but joyful place to produce and make money. Our recent practices are not sustainable. And through restoration, we could see another alternative.
The minute we saw that through cultural heritage, the money we spend on a building, 90% of it goes really to the community, meaning that the people get work, they get a space, a nice space. People have to benefit from the cultural heritage.
زينوا الحرق، تغيرت علينا وأنورت وصلحوا إشي كثير يعني وعمروها حوالينا. واللي بيجي يعني مبسوط في حارتنا إنه شو صار فيها وصار عمارة، صار إنه فيها أكثر يعني ما.
We know now that restoration is not about houses, stones, and so on. What we are doing now is trying to create the proper infrastructure for social change. Whatever we do, like cleaning a facade, making a door or pavement, or planting a tree, or inviting people to a cultural activity, we claim like the space is important for change. We went all the way in colonization in Palestine. We are still colonized, I can make this claim. But I claim also, like other theoreticians, that colonization does not take place in territory. It takes place here. If you are free here, nobody can colonize you.
After working on single buildings, we discovered it's not enough. So in order to save more buildings and have a larger impact, it was, okay, we need to work on a larger scale. We need to save towns as a whole. Birzeit was our pilot project. And in Birzeit, at the beginning, we did a lot of research. It's the place where we tested everything. That's where we learned a lot. We go in, we work with the community, we put the infrastructure, we fix the buildings using traditional techniques.
We don't want to neither gentrify these historic centers nor make them museums. We want the people who live there to help them in such a way that they can make use, their children can make use of the historic centers.
In the summer, there's this cultural heritage festival. You come for a week and there are shops and kiosks and there's music and it's really beautiful.
Because these sites have a huge density of historic buildings. If we save 50 sites, we'll be saving 50% of the buildings in the West Bank and Gaza. And our dream is to have these centers alive again. Palestine only has its heritage. It's where our investment should be, and it's where our money will come from in the future.
Riwaq helps people in different ways, but what we are trying to do usually, we struggle or strive to find moments of hope that things can be better. And Riwaq really pinpoint these points of possibility, pinpoints these points of hope.